What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. On the last part, we started a scenario where Hit won the Tournament of Destroyers, securing victory for Universe 6 and causing Champa to now own Earth. With Earth being teleported to Universe 6, of course this ended up affecting the Zamasu arc. And not only did we see teamwork that spanned across timelines, but teamwork that spanned across universes. But where do we go from here? We'll see more of that in this video. For this part, let's set a like goal of 3,500 likes. Depending on if we hit the like goal or not, I could actually make an epilogue with a part 3. But for now, this will be the last part, so let's pick up from here. Now with things back in order, Beerus decides to take Trunks back to his timeline. He doesn't want to see anyone messing with time travel. And although he was excited at the prospect of having another Saiyan to train, he's not going to risk harboring someone who time travels, not to mention it's not like Trunks wants to even stay here. But it does get Beerus thinking. Without any of the Saiyans there, he needs a new rival somehow. He was training the two Saiyans to have someone strong to fight. Or at least, Whis was doing that. But still, he needs to find someone new to fill those shoes. So he and Whis begin their search, looking around to find any strong people that they could train. Speaking of training, the same thing is happening in Universe 6. After Hit joined to help everyone in their battle, Goku said he wanted to see more of him. The two should spar together even. They can grow really powerful together if they train. As for Champa, he's not even really focused on the training right now, more so he's freaked out about the potential consequences of what just happened. Beerus is a bit nervous too, but most of it did take place in Universe 6, so Champa has a lot to worry about. He dealt with Zamasu himself, getting rid of this timeline's version of him. And he's just hoping that Zeno doesn't say anything. This whole experience also makes him want to see the Saiyans train more. But Goku decides to do something different. While Vegeta and Cabba stay here, Goku's actually going to go off and train with Hit. At first, Champa's a bit angry with it. They were the ones that asked to train here after all. And even Champa warmed up to it eventually. Now he wants Goku to stay here. But Vegito says this might be good for him. It'll be a different form of training, and maybe once he comes back he'll learn some things. This could be very beneficial for him, especially with Vegeta too. That'll really motivate him to train more as well. It takes some convincing, but eventually he lets Goku go off to train with Hit, while Vegeta and Cabba stay on the planet to train themselves. This generates two new rivalries of sorts, Goku and Hit, as well as Vegeta and Cabba. Each of these duos is working to get stronger than the other, although the gap between Cabba and Vegeta is a lot wider than Hit and Goku's. Hit's still kind of busy with his assassin work, but luckily things have slowed down a bit, and honestly, he does his job quick enough to have a lot of free time. Training with Goku will make him grow a lot stronger, and of course he's not going to tell Goku what he's been doing in the meantime. Goku already knows he's an assassin from his fight before with him. But Hit's not just going to announce all the time when he's going out to kill someone. This is really beneficial for both of them. Something like this even happened originally. Remember Goku got Hit to try and assassinate him? It's kind of similar here, except Goku's not going to die from it. He's using Hit to train, and Hit's also benefiting too. Eventually they even do go to Champa's planet, training with him and Vados, as well as Vegeta and Cabba, although from time to time, they do leave and do their own training. But this is great for Hit since he learned some things that he didn't know before. Since he's never trained with Vados, this is actually pretty insane for him. But during their training, Goku begins thinking, you know what would be really great? If they had another tournament. Hit doesn't know what he means, but Goku tells him about the Zeno button. He can go to Zeno whenever he wants. Zeno does like him after all, and Zeno mentioned that he wanted to do a tournament like the Universe 6 one. Hit actually gets kind of concerned from this, and it's the first time in a while Goku's seen him act like this. Wait, he's gonna go to Zeno right now and ask for a tournament? Isn't that a kind of bad idea? Not in Goku's eyes. It could be really fun, and Zeno's gonna be doing it eventually. Goku might as well remind him. Shouldn't he ask Champa first too? Maybe, but Goku would rather just do this on his own. He tells Hit he'll be right back, hitting the Zeno button and then teleporting over there. Hit just looks on in disbelief as Goku disappears. There's no way he's actually doing that, right? And he does. Zeno was going to do the tournament eventually anyways. He was getting kind of bored, especially since he doesn't have a second Zeno there. It's been about a year since Zamasu happened, and Goku does need some sort of excitement in terms of fighting. This will be the perfect way to do it. Of course, eventually Champa finds out about this and scolds Goku. He should erase Goku right now on the spot, but Goku tells him Zeno was about to do this anyways. Isn't this good too? It's going to only motivate them more and make them a lot stronger. By now, Vegeta and Cabba have already grown very powerful on Champa's planet, with Cabba even getting access to Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue. But that's pretty much where they've been for a while. They haven't gone beyond that at all. Now, Goku has Blue Kaioken, but he hasn't gotten anything beyond Blue either, in terms of his traditional form. You know, Goku does make a good point. Maybe a tournament could help, and Champa's actually up for it until he hears the rules. They'll get a race if they lose. Okay, never mind. He takes back what he said, this was a really stupid idea. And he's about to erase Goku again, but Vados interjects. If he erases Goku, he's losing one of his strongest fighters. He can't let his anger take control of him. Alright, well, as punishment, Goku's gonna have to go and recruit people for the team. And Goku's pumped up. In terms of a team, he's already got a few great ideas. Obviously Vegeta, Kappa, and Hit will be on there. That's already 4 people. Add Gohan and Piccolo, that's 6. Kappa and Vegeta actually go to Sadala to recruit some Saiyans, allowing Vegeta and Goku to meet Kale and Caulifla. They're added onto the team, and they're pretty excited to see these 2 Saiyans on here too. They just need 2 more people. Goku tries to get Majin Buu on, but he falls asleep. And they could recruit Frost, but they don't really trust him as much. The androids would be a great option too, but it might be a bit tough to get them on the team, especially without Krillin being there. But Champa jumps in, suggesting Batamo and Vegeta. And he's also got another surprise. He was originally going to go Namek and recruit some people, and he already kind of slipped up and they all fused together. He wants Saunel and Piranha to join the team. They are the entirety of planet Namek after all, so they'll be very strong. But he actually had another idea. He wants them to fuse into Piccolo too. He could already envision it. Piccolo will be the strongest Namekian warrior ever in existence. He'll have the entirety of a planet fused within him, as well as Nail and Kami. Piccolo's kinda concerned about this because they're gonna be fused into him forever. But Champa says they'll find a way around it, with the Dragon Balls or whatever. This will be for the tournament, so they fuse into Piccolo, and now the team is finally complete. But what about Team Universe 7? We haven't actually covered them. Well, I will say we're gonna have a few nameless warriors on this team. I'm sure Beerus and Whis would be able to find some pretty strong people, specifically people like Namekians, people from Yardrat, stuff like that. But there are some pretty interesting members on the team that I will mention. Jocko would be one of them. He might not be incredibly strong, but he's a good fighter. They already did vaguely know him, and he said that he would join the team. Also, they found another really strong person, who also happened to be a criminal, but he didn't actually seem to be too bad of a guy. It was kinda hard to encourage him to be there, until he heard that there would be Saiyans that he'd be facing. Granola's on the team too. But most importantly, there's one person that Beerus and Whis actually found. Someone that Beerus actually chose to be his next rival, since he didn't have Goku and Vegeta there. Whis has actually been training him for a bit, learning that he has some great power and potential. This fighter is Broly, and although he hasn't attained Super Saiyan God yet, he's still incredibly strong. Plus, after some brief training with Whis and Beerus, he's able to fight pretty well with some nice techniques. As for the rest of the team, it would probably be a bunch of nameless warriors, because really most of the strong people in Universe 7 are villains anyways, and it's not like they're gonna get people like Moro or 7-3 on the team, despite how strong they are. They can't trust them. Granola's already a bit of a risk as it is, but he might be okay. So now, the tournament can begin. At first, a lot of the people want to team up in Universe 6. They seem to be the strongest, and it was Goku that started the tournament after all. But everyone comes to realize really quickly that that's a bad strategy. Attacking Universe 6 is a terrible idea. They have the strongest people in the tournament, or at least some of the strongest. Goku, Hit, Vegeta, Kappa, and Gohan are really strong. We've seen a lot of them in these past few parts, but also there's Piccolo too. With all of Namek fused into him, you got another person that's pretty much on that level too. Otamo and Vegeta still form Vegeta, which is actually a pretty effective strategy. And as for Kale and Caulifla, Caulifla's gotten a grasp on Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2, while Kale still has her rage moments, so they're hoping that doesn't happen here. But of course, Kale would eventually be pushed to the edge, and things would go wrong. Caulifla ends up being targeted by Granola. Obviously he'd have his eye on Saiyans after all. He's way too tough for her to face alone. Kale joins in, but even she can't help. Her feelings of weakness get her angry and sad, causing her to turn into her berserk form once again. She begins attacking Granola, and Granola's actually pretty surprised to see this form, as is Broly. Broly hasn't even fully lost control yet, but Beerus and Whis have noted his moments of rage during training. Broly realizes that she might be trouble, and tells Granola to finish her off as quickly as possible. Granola's kinda angered to be taking orders from a Saiyan, but Broly probably is right, so he will have to agree with him. Despite how strong Kale is, everyone watches on in amazement as Granola takes her out with one hit, directly attacking a vital point. Caulifla tries to fight back too, but with a single sniper shot, he takes her out as well. Already, Universe 6 has lost 2 fighters, and they were pretty powerful. They're angry that they couldn't have done more, but they can at least support the team from the stands. Of course, Universe 6 would be interested in Universe 7's fighters, specifically Goku and Vegeta, not only seeing Granola, but seeing Broly. There was another Saiyan after all, and he seems pretty confident right now in his abilities. Maybe Beerus took him on as a new rival, trying to create another Super Saiyan god. But Vegeta's getting a bit concerned. This might be bad news. He doesn't know why, but he has a bad feeling about another Saiyan being here. There's gotta be a reason he somehow survived. And also, he wonders if Beerus knows about Turble too. Would have been nice to see his brother become a Super Saiyan god, but it seems like it's this guy, if he even has access to it yet. Just to save time, we're gonna trim a bit of the unimportant stuff out. As you would probably expect, Batamo and Vegeta eventually do get knocked out, being some of the weaker ones on the team. And a lot of the focus would be on Universe 6, 7, and 11. They are the strongest ones after all. Universe 7 would lose a lot of fighters too, but Granola and Broly stay in surprisingly long, as well as some Namekian fusions that are on the team too. Jocko didn't expect to be in there too long anyways, and he was kinda terrified to see who he was up against. But he does wonder if his team could win. Goku wants to go and fight Jiren, but Hit says that he's gonna try first. This guy seems like bad news. They need to try and take him out right away, possibly even working together. Hit goes up to Jiren, and the two of them begin clashing, with Goku watching on. Why is Hit so confident? For some reason, he seems like he knows he's gonna win. Goku continues looking on, but is suddenly distracted as he's then attacked by Broly. Even when Goku transforms, this still seems to not be enough. Broly's really strong even in just base alone. How could a Saiyan be this powerful? He doesn't even seem to have any God Ki, besides some very trace amounts of it. Gohan jumps in to help him. Looks like they'll have to take on Broly together. As for Vegeta and Kaba, they end up facing Dispo first, easily disposing of him, no pun intended, and then going to fight Toppo. Toppo seems to be a bigger issue, but with two Super Saiyan Blues against him, he can't really stand a chance. Especially once Piccolo jumps in to help, sealing the deal as they knock out the second strongest Pride Trooper from Universe 11. Meanwhile, Hit's fight with Jiren is still continuing. With pure progress, Hit is still growing, and he's been able to use his time techniques to actually get ahead of Jiren somehow. Hit is a lot stronger in this scenario. He's been training constantly with Goku, and even trained a bit with Vados. You gotta remember too, Hit's a very smart guy, as well as being very talented. And he's been paying very close attention to Vados' training, as well as things he's been learning from Goku. And he thinks he's on the brink of something great. As he's fighting Jiren, he closes his eyes, and he starts effortlessly dodging Jiren's attacks. All the gods look on in amazement. There's no way it could be Ultra Instinct, right? And it actually isn't, but he is using the principle of that. Champa's completely hyped up, glad to see this. Even if it isn't really Ultra Instinct, Hit seems to be on the path to obtaining it. But Jiren shows off more and more of his power, making it harder for Hit to even dodge his attacks. Crap, he's still suppressed? Hit's getting concerned. They might not actually be able to defeat Jiren, and even with this false Ultra Instinct that he's using, it's not like it's going to be doing much. He's just dodging attacks, it's not like he's getting any stronger. His body is kind of moving on his own, but at this rate, he's going to still lose. But he's got an idea. In one hand, he charges a purple attack, directly hitting Jiren with it. And Jiren's movements become really sluggish all of a sudden. Hit's using all of his focus and his energy, but this might be his only shot. He's using time lag to try and stop Jiren. But still, it's not like he can move himself. He's got to stay here and stay focused on Jiren. But thankfully, someone comes to assist him. It's Piccolo. With Jiren stuck in a time lag, he launches a massive Masenko at him, trying to push him off the stage while Jiren can't move. Hit tries to keep holding on, making sure Jiren can't escape. And now Jiren's actually panicked. He's the last one on the team, and he's about to be knocked out, and it seems like there's no way to stop him. Vegeta and Kaba then jump in too, making sure the job is done. Hit powers up even further, while Jiren continues trying to break out of it, but eventually he's pushed out of the ring. And now Universe 11 is erased. That only leaves Universe 7, and there's two people left, Broly and Granola. Broly is still fighting Goku and Gohan, and the fight seems to be going nowhere. With Goku in blue and Gohan at his full power, they're actually ahead of Broly. And Broly breaks out what he's been practicing. He turns Super Saiyan, and he actually does have a control on it, thanks to Beerus and Whis. Now this is going to be a problem. The others try and help him, but Hit's kind of worn out from his fight with Jiren. Piccolo's able to slip away, but Kaba and Vegeta get distracted by Granola. He does have his eye on Saiyans after all. From the stands, Kale and Caulifla yell out to them. They gotta watch out for him. When they fought him, they both got one-shotted somehow, and it wasn't just because of his power, but Granola somehow attacked them in a weak point. Granola commends them for this observation. That's exactly what he's been doing. But Vegeta says he doesn't care. No matter what tricks Granola uses, he and Kaba will win. They'll show off the fruits of their training. But then Hit steps back up. He's still a little bit weakened, but he thinks he can help against Granola. With his time skip, he might be able to work around Granola's technique of shooting vital points. So the three of them work together as Piccolo joins Goku and Gohan versus Broly. It's a massive all-out battle between the two universes. With Granola facing three people, he eventually is knocked out. Sure, his techniques are great, and he is pretty strong, but with those three, he's not going to be able to win. So now they focus all their attention on Broly. It's kind of weird. They expected Jiren to be the main event, not this Saiyan. But with 6 people against him, Broly's actually getting overwhelmed now. And even though he has control over Super Saiyan, it's not like this is his full power. He's tapped into it once before, but whenever he does, he loses complete control. And now he's going to involuntarily do it. Pushed to the edge, Broly ends up powering up, going to his full power form. Goku looks over to Vegeta. He does have a plan, but Vegeta's not going to like it. It is their only shot at beating Broly after all. Before the tournament, Champa gave them something. Instead of giving Potara earrings to Kale and Caulifla, he gave it to Goku and Vegeta. Goku tells Vegeta they need to bring Vegito back. And this time they know it's not permanent, and with the entire universe at stake, they have no other choice. During the battle, a brilliant flash of light appears, and out of it comes a new warrior. Zeno looks on in amazement. Even though this is using items, he doesn't care. This is awesome. Just like how he reacted with Kefla. After all this time, Vegito's finally returned. He thanks his allies for the help in distracting Broly, but now he'll finish it. With the stakes as high as they are, he doesn't waste any time. He powers up right into Super Saiyan Blue. launching right towards Broly with insane speed. Everyone looks on amazed at how quickly the tides turned. Vegito completely overwhelms him. Broly tries to fight back, but he can't do anything, not to mention he's lost control. This only makes it better for Vegito. With a massive final Kamehameha, he finishes the job, launching Broly clear out of the ring. This means Universe 7 is about to be erased. Beerus looks on at his brother, still angered about the fact that he had Earth taken from him. But now this seems to be his end. He looks over at Champa, showing almost no emotion. The two glance at each other one last time, as Beerus is then erased, along with the entirety of Universe 7. Champa doesn't know how to feel about all this either. He won, but his brother also died, as well as all those universes being erased. All of that needless erasure. But luckily, the MVP is about to solve things. The person chosen as MVP is Vegito. And with both Goku and Vegeta there, he has a pretty solid idea of what he wants for a wish. He wants the universes restored, surprising everyone there. Vegito then looks over at him. He told him it would be okay. And with that, we'll end off here for now. So, what did you guys think about this part? Do you think things would have gone any differently? And what do you think will happen on the next part if we get one? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try and hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part of this series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon so you're notified about any future parts of this What If or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.